She had 30 seconds to hide the sleeping bags before the video call started. Maya adjusted the laptop angle against the minivan's rear window. The parking lot stretched dark behind her. Streetlights cast long shadows across empty spaces. She angled the camera to show only the white interior panel, her makeshift office background. Professional. Normal. No one would guess she lived here with 2 kids asleep in the back seat. The notification popped up. Ethan Clark joining the call. Her senior developer. The one who asked thoughtful questions during code reviews. The one whose messages made her smile even on the hardest days. She smoothed her hair and clicked accept. His face appeared on screen. Dark eyes. That half smile he wore when debugging complex problems. "Hey Maya, thanks for making time tonight." She opened her mouth to respond. Then a small hand reached into frame, holding a stuffed bear. Maya's breath stopped. Ethan's expression shifted. The bear dangled there, brown and worn, right between them. "Mama?" Ben's sleepy voice came from behind her. "Is it morning?" The minivan smelled like peanut butter in old upholstery. Maya opened her eyes to gray dawn light filtering through condensation on the windows. Her neck ached from sleeping upright in the driver's seat. She checked the time on her phone. 5:43. She twisted to look at the back seat. Lily and Ben were still asleep, curled under their shared blanket. The stuffed bear Ben refused to sleep without was wedged between them. Maya grabbed the damp towel from the passenger seat and wiped the windows. The parking lot was quiet. A few other vehicles scattered across the asphalt. She recognized the blue sedan 3 spaces over. Another family. They never acknowledged each other. She pulled on her professional cardigan over her wrinkled shirt, fixed her hair in the rearview mirror, applied concealer under her eyes where the exhaustion showed most. Her laptop sat in its usual spot on the dashboard. She had 45 minutes before her first stand-up meeting with the team. The library opened at 7. She would drive there. Use the bathroom to brush teeth. Let the kids wash up. Get them breakfast from the vending machine. Set up at a study table with decent Wi-Fi. Just another Tuesday. Outside, fog rolled across the empty lot, turning everything soft and distant. The library study room had acceptable lighting. Maya positioned her laptop to show the plain wall behind her. Generic office background. She tested the angle twice. The video call connected at exactly 9. Ethan's face filled her screen. He sat in what looked like a real home office. Bookshelves behind him, warm lamplight, a coffee mug that probably held actual fresh coffee, not the bitter instant powder she mixed with library water fountain tap. "Morning, Maya." His voice was steady, calm. "Ready to tackle that authentication bug?" She nodded, kept her expression neutral. "I reviewed the logs last night. I think the issue is in the token refresh cycle." His eyebrows lifted slightly. "You worked on this after hours?" "I wanted to come prepared." Something shifted in his expression. Not pity, something else. Attention, maybe. They shared screens, walked through the code together. His questions were precise, never condescending. He listened when she explained her logic. Actually, listen. "That's clever," he said when she showed him her proposed fix. "I wouldn't have thought of that approach." Warmth spread through her chest, small and unexpected. Behind her, Lily appeared in the study room doorway, holding a library book. Maya quickly muted herself and turned, made a 5 minutes gesture. Lily nodded and disappeared. When Maya turned back, Ethan was looking at something off-screen. "Sorry," she said. "Where were we?" "The validation function." He pulled up the code again. "But actually, before we continue, are you in a library?" Her pulse spiked. "Yes, better internet than my place." He smiled slightly. "I get that. My connection was terrible when I first started remote work. I spent 6 months coding at coffee shops." The knot in her chest loosened just a fraction. They worked for another hour. Easy rhythm. His laugh was quiet when she made a dry comment about poorly documented legacy code. When the call ended, she sat there for a moment, staring at the blank screen where his face had been. Evening light slanted through the library windows. Maya sat at the long table in the children's section. Lily bent over her math homework. Ben colored at the other end, tongue stuck out in concentration. Maya's laptop was open to 3 browser tabs: job board, housing listings, her company's internal project management system. The housing listings made her stomach hurt. Even the cheapest studio apartments were beyond her reach. She would need first month, last month, security deposit, $6,000 minimum. She had $400 in her savings account. Her phone buzzed. Slack message from Ethan. Ethan Clark. Hey, quick question about the deployment schedule. Maya Torres. Sure. Ethan Clark. You free for a call? Or should I just type it out? She glanced at the kids. Lily was absorbed in fractions. Ben was quietly humming to himself. Maya Torres. Typing works better right now. Ethan Clark. No problem. I'm looking at Thursday for the auth fix deployment. Does that timeline work for you? Yes, I'll have the test finished by Wednesday. Great. Also, and this is completely optional, a few of us are doing a virtual coffee chat Friday at 3. Just hanging out, no work talk. You're welcome to join. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. Social connection, normal human interaction, the kind of casual team bonding that built relationships and career opportunities. But Friday at 3 meant late afternoon. The kids would be with her. She couldn't do video. Couldn't explain why. I'll try to make it. Depends on my schedule. Totally understand. Doors open if you can. She stared at his message for a long time. Outside the window, the sky was turning purple and gold. Maya sat in the driver's seat at 11 at night. The kids were asleep in back. Her laptop balanced on her knees, running on the battery's last 20%. She was parked under a streetlight near a coffee shop that had outdoor outlets. Extension cords snaked through her cracked window to charge her devices. She was debugging a tricky issue in the payment processing module. Her eyes burned, but the problem was almost solved. She could feel it. Her Slack dinged softly. Ethan Clark. You're up late. She blinked at the timestamp. 11:14. Maya Torres. Could say the same about you. Ethan Clark. Insomnia. Old habit. You? Maya Torres. Chasing a bug. Ethan Clark. The payment validation one? Maya Torres. How did you know? Ethan Clark. I saw your commit messages earlier. You're determined. Maya Torres. It's bothering me. The logic should work, but it's failing on edge cases. Ethan Clark. Want a second pair of eyes? She should say no. Should maintain professional boundaries. But her brain was tired, and the problem was stubborn. Maya Torres. If you're offering. Ethan Clark. Screen share? Maya Torres. Just code snippets. Screen share is laggy on my connection right now. It was a lie, but a necessary one. They worked through messages for the next hour, back and forth. He asked good questions, pointed out a variable scope issue she had missed. She caught a logic flaw he almost overlooked. At 12:30, they found the solution together. Maya Torres. That's it. Thank you. Ethan Clark. Team effort. You did most of the heavy lifting. Maya Torres. Still, I appreciate the help. Ethan Clark. Anytime. Seriously. A pause. 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then appeared again. Ethan Clark. Maya, can I ask you something? Her chest tightened. Maya Torres. Sure. Ethan Clark. You're one of the best developers on the team, but you never join the social calls. You're always working late. You decline every optional team event. I'm not trying to pry. I just want to make sure you're okay. She stared at the message. Her throat felt tight. Maya Torres. I'm fine, just have a lot on my plate right now. Ethan Clark. Okay, but if you ever need anything, Flexible hours, different meeting times, whatever. Just let me know. I can advocate for you with management. Something cracked open inside her chest. Small and painful and warm all at once. Maya Torres. Thank you. That means a lot. Ethan Clark. Get some sleep, Maya. Maya Torres. You too. She closed the laptop, sat in the dark car. Outside, the streetlight hummed softly. Nearby, a sprinkler system turned on, hissing across empty grass. The team dinner invitation arrived Thursday morning. From Jennifer Kim, engineering manager. Subject, team celebration dinner, next Friday. Team, great work on the Q3 deliverables. To celebrate, we're doing an in-person team dinner next Friday at 7 p.m. Location, Osteria Franco in downtown San Francisco. Company is covering the full bill. Please RSVP by Monday so I can make reservations. Looking forward to seeing everyone. Maya read it 3 times. In person, downtown San Francisco, 7 at night. She composed her response carefully. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for organizing. Unfortunately, I have a prior commitment that evening and won't be able to make it. Hope everyone has a great time. Best, Maya. She hit send before she could overthink it. 20 minutes later, Ethan messaged her directly. Ethan Clark. You're not coming to the dinner? Maya Torres. Can't make it. Conflict in my schedule. Ethan Clark. That's too bad. I was looking forward to meeting you in person. Her heart did something complicated. Maya Torres. Maybe another time. Ethan Clark. We could do coffee sometime instead. Just the two of us, if you want. She stared at the message. Maya Torres. That would be nice. Ethan Clark. Great. No pressure on timing. Whenever works for you. She never responded, just left the message sitting there, unanswered, like all the other things she wanted but couldn't have. That night in the parking lot, she sat watching Lily and Ben sleep. Lily's arm was thrown over Ben's shoulder, protective even in dreams. The dinner would have been nice. Meeting Ethan in person would have been nice. Having a normal life would have been nice. She turned off the overhead light and let the darkness settle around her. Friday afternoon, Maya was working from a corner table at the library when Ethan's message appeared. Ethan Clark. Quick observation, you're always available for meetings before 3 p.m. But after that, you're almost always offline or text only. Is there a reason for that pattern? Her stomach dropped. Maya Torres. Just how my schedule works out. Ethan Clark. Okay, I'm not trying to interrogate you, I just noticed. If you need accommodations for different working hours, I can help arrange that. Maya Torres. I appreciate it, but I'm managing fine. Ethan Clark. All right. The conversation ended there, but she could feel his attention now. The way he was starting to notice the gaps, the inconsistencies. She was good at being invisible. She had practiced for months. But Ethan was observant in a way that made her nervous. That evening, she picked up the kids from the after-school program at the community center. They walked back to the car through fading light. Ben held her hand. Lily walked slightly ahead, shoulders hunched against the cold. Mom? Lily's voice was quiet. Jessica invited me to her birthday party next weekend. Maya's chest tightened. That's nice, honey. Can I go? When is it? Saturday afternoon, 2 to 5. Her mom said she'd give me a ride home after. Maya did the math. Saturday meant no library, no excuse for being elsewhere. Jessica's mom would expect to drop Lily off at a house, an address. Let me check my schedule, Maya said. I'll let you know. Lily nodded. Her disappointment was quiet but visible in the set of her shoulders. They reached the minivan. Maya unlocked it. The kids climbed in. She sat in the driver's seat and stared at the steering wheel for a long moment. Behind her, Ben said, Mama, I'm hungry. I know, baby. We'll get dinner soon. Outside, the last light was fading into dusk. The rain started around midnight. Maya woke to the sound of water drumming on the roof of the van. Soft at first, then harder. She sat up, checked the windows, all sealed tight, then she felt it, cold water dripping onto her shoulder. She looked up, a dark stain spreading across the van's ceiling liner, water seeping through a rust hole she thought she had patched last month. No, the word came out as a whisper. She grabbed the towel from the passenger seat, pressed it against the leak. Water immediately soaked through. Mama? Lily's voice, groggy with sleep. What's wrong? Nothing, honey. Go back to sleep. But Lily sat up, saw the water dripping. Her face went still in that way it did when she was trying not to cry. Ben stirred. I'm cold. The temperature had dropped. Rain always made everything colder. Maya pulled the blankets tighter around both kids, moved them to the driest corner of the back seat. She spent the next 2 hours holding the towel against the leak. Her arm cramped. Water ran down her wrist, soaking her sleeve. Outside, the rain continued its steady assault. At 3 in the morning, Lily whispered, Mom, maybe we should ask someone for help. We're fine, Maya said automatically. We're not fine, Lily's voice cracked. We're living in a car. I'm lying to my friends. Ben wet the bed last week because he was too scared to go to the public bathroom alone at night. This isn't fine. Maya's throat closed. Lily, I know you're trying. I know you're doing your best, but we need help, Mom. Silence filled the van, broken only by the rain. I'm working on it, Maya finally said. I promise I'm working on it. Lily didn't respond, just lay back down and turned to face the window. Dawn came slowly, gray and wet. Maya's arm ached. The towel was completely soaked. A small puddle had formed on the floor. She looked at her sleeping children and felt something crack inside her chest. Monday morning, stand-up. Maya joined the video call from the library bathroom, which had better lighting than the study rooms. She had concealed the shadows under her eyes as best she could. Ethan led the meeting. Each person gave their updates. Maya reported on the payment module work. Her voice sounded normal, professional. No one could tell she had slept 90 minutes the night before. Thanks, Maya, Ethan said. Great progress. The meeting continued. Jennifer talked about sprint planning. Marcus discussed infrastructure updates. Maya felt herself swaying slightly, exhaustion pulling at her edges. Maya? Ethan's voice cut through the fog. You still there? She blinked, realized she had zoned out. Yes, sorry, connection lag. His expression shifted, concerned, attentive. The meeting ended. 10 minutes later, he messaged her privately. Ethan Clark, you okay? You seemed off today. Maya Torres, just tired, late night working. Ethan Clark, you're working too hard. You need to take care of yourself. She almost laughed. The sound would have been bitter. Maya Torres, I'm fine. Ethan Clark, Maya, I know we're not super close yet, but I care about my team members. If something's wrong, you can talk to me. Off the record, just human to human. Her vision blurred. She blinked rapidly. Maya Torres, I appreciate that. Ethan Clark, I mean it, whatever it is. No judgment. She stared at the message, at his offer, at the impossible kindness of it. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. She could tell him, right now, just type it out, explain everything. But what would happen then? Would he pity her? Would he report her to HR? Would they decide she was unreliable? A liability? She closed the chat window, picked up her phone instead, opened her email, composed a new message to Jennifer Kim. Subject, flexible hours request. Hi Jennifer, I'd like to request a shift in my core working hours if possible. Would it be feasible for me to work 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. instead of 9 to 5? I'm happy to discuss the details. Thanks, Maya. She sent it before she could change her mind. Outside the bathroom window, clouds gathered in a heavy gray mass. Jennifer approved the schedule change within 2 hours. Maya started her new 6 to 2 shift on Wednesday. She worked from the library parking lot at dawn, laptop balanced on her knees, portable hotspot glowing softly in the gray light. The kids slept in the back seat while she coded. It was better, quieter, no one around to notice her setup. Friday morning, Ethan pinged her at 7. Ethan Clark. You're online early. Maya Torres. New schedule. Requested earlier hours. Ethan Clark. Smart move. Mornings are the best for deep focus work. Maya Torres. Exactly. Ethan Clark. Listen, I have a proposition. We've got that database migration project coming up. Big, complex, high visibility. I'm leading it and I want you on the team. It comes with a pay bump. Interested? Her heart rate spiked. Pay bump. More money. Closer to an apartment. Maya Torres. Very interested. Ethan Clark. Great. I'll send you the project brief. We kick off Monday. Fair warning, it's going to be intense. Lots of pair programming sessions. Maya Torres. I can handle intense. Ethan Clark. I know you can. That's why I picked you. She sat in the van, watching sunrise paint the sky pink and orange. Lily stirred in the back seat. Ben's hand clutched his bear tighter. A pay bump. Another step forward. Another month closer to stability. She opened the project brief and started reading. The first pair programming session was scheduled for Monday at 10. Maya set up in the library's quiet study room. Good lighting. Plain wall behind her. She had charged all her devices fully. Tested the internet connection 3 times. The video call connected. Ethan appeared on screen, coffee mug in hand. Morning. Ready to dive into this beast of a database? Ready as I'll ever be. They shared screens. Walked through the migration architecture together. His explanations were clear, patient. He asked her opinions on implementation approaches. Actually waited for her answers. 2 hours passed without her noticing. Okay, Ethan said, leaning back in his chair. I think that's a good stopping point. My brain needs a break. Same, he smiled. You're really good at this, you know. The way you think through edge cases, it's impressive. Warmth spread through her chest. Thank you. I'm not just saying it, you should be senior level already. Have you thought about pushing for a promotion? She had thought about it, dismissed it immediately. Promotions meant visibility, questions about her background, verification of her credentials. She had taught herself to code through free resources in desperation. No degree, no formal training, just library computers and YouTube tutorials. Maybe eventually, she said. Something shifted in his expression, like he was reading between her words. Well, this project is going to put you on management's radar regardless, so be prepared for that. Noted. They ended the call, but before she could close the window, he messaged her. Ethan Clark. Hey, random question. Where did you study CS? Her stomach dropped. Maya Torres. I'm mostly self-taught. Ethan Clark. Really? That's incredible. Most self-taught developers I know struggle with system design. You're a natural. Maya Torres. Lots of practice. Ethan Clark. Clearly. Anyway, same time Thursday for our next session? Maya Torres. Works for me. She closed the laptop, sat staring at the blank screen. He was getting closer, asking questions, noticing details. She needed to be more careful. The community center called at 11 on Tuesday morning. Ms. Torres, this is Sarah from the after-school program. Ben's running a fever. We need you to pick him up. Maya was in the middle of a code review. How high? 101. Not dangerous, but our policy requires pickup for anything over 100. I'll be there in 20 minutes, she messaged Ethan. Maya Torres, family emergency, need to sign off for a few hours. Ethan Clark, everything okay? Maya Torres, will be, just need to handle something. Ethan Clark, take whatever time you need, family first. She grabbed her things, drove to the community center. Ben sat in the office, small and flushed, clutching his bear. "Hey, baby." She pressed her hand to his forehead, warm but not burning. "Let's get you somewhere comfortable." She carried him to the van, laid him across the back seat, gave him children's Tylenol from her emergency kit, wet a towel with bottled water and placed it on his forehead. "Mama, I don't feel good." "I know, sweetheart. You're going to be okay." She sat with him for 2 hours. The van parked in the library lot. She couldn't take him inside while he was sick. Couldn't work from a coffee shop with a feverish child. Her laptop sat unopened in the front seat. At 2, she checked her Slack. 3 messages from Ethan. Ethan Clark. "Hope everything's all right." Ethan Clark. "No rush, but when you're back online, I have a quick question about the schema design." Ethan Clark. "Actually, don't worry about it. I figured it out. Take care of what you need to." Ben's fever broke around 4. He fell into a deep sleep, breathing soft and even. Maya opened her laptop, worked through the sunset and into dark, made up for lost time, finished the code review, started on tomorrow's tasks. At 10 at night, her phone buzzed. Ethan Clark. "You're working late again." Maya Torres. "Making up for this afternoon." Ethan Clark. "You don't need to do that. We're flexible for a reason." Maya Torres. "I want to pull my weight." Ethan Clark. "You pull more than your weight, Maya. Seriously, go rest." She looked at Ben, still asleep in the back. At Lily, who had climbed in after the evening program, now doing homework by flashlight. Rest, as if that were an option. Maya Torres. "Soon. Just want to finish this module." Ethan Clark. "All right, but promise me you'll stop by midnight." Maya Torres. "Promise." She worked until 12:30. Outside, the parking lot was silent and dark. Thursday's pair programming session started normally. Maya had found a different spot in the library. Better angle. Natural light from a window that didn't show what was outside. Background looked like a home office corner. Ethan joined the call. "How's your family member? The emergency from Tuesday?" "Better, thank you." "Good to hear." They worked through the database schema, debated indexing strategies, found a clever optimization for the query performance. An hour in, Maya needed to check something in her notes. She reached for her bag on the chair beside her. The camera angle shifted slightly, just for a second, just enough. When she looked back at the screen, Ethan's expression had changed. His eyes were focused on something behind her. "Maya," he said slowly, "where are you right now?" Her blood went cold. "What do you mean?" "That window behind you, is that a parking lot?" She turned, saw what he was seeing. Through the gap in the curtain, visible in the shifted camera angle, concrete, painted lines, parked cars. Her mind raced. Excuses, explanations, lies. "I'm at the library," she heard herself say. "They have study rooms." "Okay." His voice was careful. "But you said you were at your home office earlier, last week." "I work from different locations. Better internet at the library sometimes." Silence. He was looking at something off-screen, probably checking their previous call logs, noticing patterns. "Maya," his voice was gentle now, soft in a way that made her chest hurt. "Are you okay? Really okay?" "I'm fine." "You're working from parking lots. You're online at odd hours. You never do video calls after 3. You decline the team dinner. I have to go." Her voice cracked. "I'm sorry, I have to go." She disconnected the call, sat staring at the blank screen. Her phone buzzed immediately. Ethan calling. She declined it. Another buzz. Text message. "I'm sorry if I overstepped. I'm worried about you. Please talk to me." Her hands were shaking. Another message. "Whatever's going on, we can figure it out. You don't have to handle it alone." She turned off her phone, packed up her laptop, walked out to the van where her children were waiting. Maya avoided Ethan's messages for 2 days, worked through their shared project alone, committed code without discussion, skipped their scheduled pair programming session with a vague excuse about technical difficulties. Saturday evening, she sat in the van. Kids were at the community center for a movie night, free childcare for 3 blessed hours. She should have been catching up on sleep. Instead, she stared at her Slack messages. 14 messages from Ethan, increasingly concerned. The last one had arrived an hour ago. Ethan Clark. Maya, I'm going to be direct. I think you're in some kind of difficult situation. I don't know what it is, and you don't have to tell me. But I want you to know that I'm here. Not as your senior developer, not as a work colleague, just as someone who cares. Please respond, even if it's just to tell me to back off. She closed her eyes, felt the weight of it all pressing down. The secrets, the constant vigilance, the exhaustion of maintaining the illusion. Lily's words echoed in her head. We need help, Mom. Her fingers moved across the keyboard before she could stop them. Maya Torres. Can we talk? Video call? Ethan Clark. Yes. Now? Maya Torres. Now. She positioned the laptop on the dashboard, didn't bother hiding anything this time. Let the camera show exactly what was behind her. The interior of a minivan. Sleeping bags folded in the back. Plastic bins of clothes. The makeshift curtains she had rigged for privacy. The call connected. Ethan's face appeared. His eyes widened slightly as he took in the background. But he didn't speak, just waited. I'm living in my car, Maya said. The words came out flat, matter of fact. I've been living in my car with my 2 kids for 7 months, since my ex stopped paying child support and I couldn't afford rent anymore. Ethan's expression didn't change. He just nodded slowly. I've been working from parking lots and libraries because I don't have a home office. I decline team events because I can't give anyone my address. I'm offline after 3 because that's when I pick up my kids from the community center's after-school program. She kept going, the words pouring out now. I got this job because I taught myself to code at the public library while my kids did their homework. I don't have a degree. I barely graduated high school. I'm terrified someone will find out and decide I'm not qualified, that I'm a fraud. Tears were running down her face now. She didn't wipe them away. I'm 1 month away from having enough saved for an apartment deposit. 1 month. And I'm so scared I'm going to lose this job before I get there, that you're going to tell HR, that they're going to decide I'm unreliable or unstable or... Maya. Ethan's voice cut through her spiral. Stop. She stopped, breathing hard. I'm not telling HR. I'm not telling anyone. This is between us. Why? The word came out broken. Because you're not a fraud. Because you're one of the most capable people I've worked with. Because what you've accomplished while dealing with this... He stopped, shook his head. It's extraordinary. She couldn't speak. When I was 22, Ethan said quietly, I walked out of my parents' house with $300 in a duffel bag. My father wanted me to go to law school, wanted me to join his firm. I wanted to code. So I left. He paused, looked away from the camera for a moment. I was homeless for 6 months, slept in my car, showered at the gym, used coffee shop Wi-Fi to learn programming. By the time I landed my first tech job, I'd lived on peanut butter sandwiches and rice for so long, I'd forgotten what real food tasted like. Maya stared at him. I'm not telling you this to make it about me. I'm telling you so you know I understand. The fear, the shame, the exhaustion of pretending everything's fine while your world is falling apart. I didn't know, she whispered. Most people don't. I don't talk about it. But you, his voice roughened, you need to know you're not alone. And you're not doing anything wrong. You're surviving. You're taking care of your kids. You're building a career. You're fucking amazing, Maya. Something broke open in her chest, deep and painful and releasing all at once. I don't feel amazing, she said. I feel like I'm drowning. I know. His voice was so gentle. But you're not going to drown, because I'm going to help you, if you'll let me. I can't ask you to. You're not asking. I'm offering. Silence hung between them. What kind of help? She finally asked. Whatever you need. Resources, connections, housing assistance programs. I know people. I know organizations. We'll figure this out together. Why? The question came out raw. Why would you do this for me? He looked directly into the camera, direct eye contact through the screen. Because someone helped me once, gave me a couch to sleep on for a month while I saved up for my own place. Changed my life. I've been looking for a way to pay that forward ever since. A pause. And because I care about you, Maya, more than I probably should, given we're colleagues, but there it is. Her heart stuttered. I care about you too, she whispered. Good. A small smile touched his mouth. Then let me help, please. She nodded. Couldn't speak past the lump in her throat. Okay. Ethan pulled out a notebook. Let's start with what you need. They talked for 2 hours. He took notes, asked practical questions. No judgment, no pity, just problem solving. When they finally hung up, Maya sat in the quiet van. Outside, night had fallen completely. The parking lot was dark except for scattered streetlights. For the first time in 7 months, she felt like she could breathe. Sunday morning, Maya woke to 17 new Slack messages from Ethan. But these weren't worried check-ins. These were resources. Ethan Clark. Housing assistance programs in Bay Area. Links attached. Ethan Clark. Emergency Rental Assistance Fund. You might qualify. Ethan Clark. This organization helped me years ago. Contact info for their intake coordinator. Ethan Clark. Legal aid for child support enforcement. Free consultation. Ethan Clark. Food assistance programs. Removing immediate costs equals more for savings. Each message was carefully researched, organized, actionable. The last message made her throat tight. Ethan Clark. I have a spare room. It's yours if you need it. No strings, no timeline. You and your kids. Just until you find a place. Think about it. She read it 3 times. A spare room. A real room. With walls and heat and privacy. The offer was too much, too generous. They barely knew each other. Colleagues for 3 months. This level of help crossed professional boundaries into something else entirely. But God, she was tired. She typed a response. Maya Torres. Thank you for all of this. I can't accept your spare room. It's too much. Ethan Clark. Why is it too much? Maya Torres. Because we work together. Because I barely know you. Because what would people think? Ethan Clark. Let me address those in order. 1. We work together, yes. But we're also both adults capable of maintaining professionalism. 2. You know me well enough to have spent dozens of hours pair programming with me. And I've seen how you think, how you work, how you treat your kids. That tells me what I need to know. 3. I don't care what people think. Do you? She sat with that question. Did she care? A month ago, she would have said yes, would have protected her reputation at all costs. But her daughter had told her the truth in a rain-soaked van at 3 in the morning. This isn't fine. Maya Torres. I need to think about it. Ethan Clark. Take all the time you need. Offer stands indefinitely. That afternoon, Maya applied to 3 of the housing programs he had sent, filled out applications while the kids played at the community center. Each form asked for employment verification, references, proof of income. For the first time, she had legitimate answers to give. By evening, she had submitted all 3 applications. She messaged Ethan. Maya Torres. Applied to the housing programs. Thank you. Ethan Clark. Proud of you. 2 words, but they landed like a weight in her chest, warm and solid. She looked at her children, At Lily, who carried too much worry for a 9-year-old. At Ben, who had learned to stay quiet when Mama was working. They deserved walls, heat, a kitchen, stability. She deserved to stop pretending she could do this alone. Maya Torres, about your offer, can I think about it for a few more days? Ethan Clark, as long as you need. Outside, the sun was setting. Paint everything gold and amber. Monday morning, Maya sat alone in the van. The kids were at school. She had 2 hours before her first meeting. The parking lot was empty. She thought about Ethan's spare room, about how it would feel to say yes, to accept help, to admit she couldn't do this on her own, about what Lily had said, "We need help, Mom," about what she had told Ethan on that video call. "I feel like I'm drowning." The truth was, she had been drowning for 7 months, and she was tired. So deeply, bone-achingly tired. Her phone buzzed. Text from the Housing Assistance Program. "Thank you for your application. Due to high demand, processing time is currently 6 to 8 weeks. We'll contact you when your application has been reviewed." 6 to 8 weeks. She stared at the message. She could keep living in the van for 6 to 8 more weeks, could keep pretending, keep struggling, keep waking up with her neck cramped from sleeping in the driver's seat. Or she could accept Ethan's help. Let someone carry part of this weight. The decision felt impossible and also inevitable. She opened Slack. Maya Torres, "Are you free to talk?" Ethan Clark, "Always. Call now?" Maya Torres, "Yes." The video call connected. Ethan's face filled her screen, concern in his eyes, but also something else, warmth maybe, hope. "I want to say yes to your offer," Maya said, "but I need to set some boundaries first." "Absolutely, whatever you need. This is temporary, just until I find my own place, or until one of the housing programs comes through." "Understood. I pay rent, whatever's fair for a room." "Maya, that's non-negotiable. I'm not a charity case. I'm a paying tenant." He nodded slowly. "Okay, we'll figure out something fair. And we tell work. I don't want to hide it. I don't want rumors or speculation. We can do that, though technically we don't have to disclose our personal living arrangements." "I know, but I'm tired of hiding." Something shifted in his expression, soft and understanding. "Okay," he said. "We tell work, full transparency. And the kids come first, always. If this arrangement isn't working for them, we leave. No questions asked." "I would expect nothing less." She took a breath. "Then yes, thank you. We'll take your spare room." Ethan smiled, really smiled. "When do you want to move in?" "As soon as possible." "How about Wednesday? Gives you a couple days to prepare, gives me time to make sure the room is ready." Wednesday works. They talked logistics, practical details. But underneath it all, something else hummed. A shift in the air between them, an acknowledgement of trust, of vulnerability, of crossing from colleagues into something undefined but significant. When they hung up, Maya sat in the quiet van, felt tears on her cheeks. But these were different from the ones she had cried before. These felt like relief. Outside, morning light filtered through the windshield, warm and golden. Tuesday night, Maya told the kids. They sat in the van after the after-school program, pizza from the dollar menu between them. Lily looked at her with those two old eyes. Ben clutched his bear. "We're going to stay with someone for a while," Maya said. "A friend of mine. He has a spare room. It's temporary, just until we find our own place." "Who?" Lily asked. "Someone I work with. His name is Ethan. He's kind. He wants to help." "Why?" Lily's voice was guarded, protective. "Because he understands what we're going through. He's been there himself." Ben leaned against her. "Will we have our own beds?" The question broke her heart. "Yes, baby, your own beds." "And a bathroom inside?" "Yes." "Can I take a bath? A real bath?" Tears blurred her vision. "Yes, you can take as many baths as you want." Lily was quiet, processing. "Mom," she finally said, "is this safe? Do you trust him?" Maya thought about Ethan, about the careful way he asked questions, the respect in his voice, the resources he had compiled, the boundaries he had accepted without question. "Yes," she said, "I trust him." Lily nodded slowly. "Okay, then I trust you." Wednesday morning, Maya packed everything they owned into garbage bags and bins. It all fit in the van with room to spare. 7 months of homelessness condensed into 12 containers. She drove to the address Ethan had sent, a small house in a quiet neighborhood, older but well-maintained, front porch with a swing. Ethan was waiting on the steps. He helped her carry everything inside, didn't comment on how little they had, just smiled at the kids and showed them to their room. It was small but clean. 2 twin beds, a dresser, curtains on the window, warm afternoon light. Ben ran to the nearest bed and jumped on it, laughing, the sound foreign and beautiful. Lily stood in the doorway, cautious, but her shoulders had dropped slightly, the tension easing. Ethan showed them the bathroom. Clean towels stacked on the counter. "It's all yours. Use whatever you need." Then the kitchen. "Food in the fridge is communal. Help yourselves. I usually cook dinner around 6 if you want to join. No pressure." He looked at Maya. "Your room is down the hall. Take your time settling in." That night, Maya tucked the kids into actual beds, read them a story with a lamp instead of a flashlight, kissed them goodnight in a room with walls and heat. Then she went to her own room, closed the door, sat on the edge of a real bed, and let herself cry. Deep, shaking sobs. Relief and grief and gratitude all tangled together. A soft knock on the door. "Maya?" Ethan's voice. "You okay?" She wiped her face. "Yes, just processing." "I'm making tea. Want some?" She opened the door. He stood there with 2 mugs, steam rising between them. "Thank you," she said, "for the tea, for the room, for all of it." "You're welcome." He handed her a mug. "For what it's worth, I'm really glad you're here." She looked at him, really looked, saw the gentleness in his expression, the care. "Me too," she whispered. Outside her window, she could see a backyard, trees, a real sky instead of a parking lot. It felt like coming home. 3 weeks later, Maya received an email from Bay Area Housing Alliance. Subject, application approved. Her hands shook as she read it. Rental assistance approved. First month, security deposit, and 6 months of partial rent support. She qualified for the maximum benefit. She could afford an apartment, a real apartment, for her and the kids. She found Ethan in his home office, showed him the email without speaking. He read it, looked up with a smile that crinkled the corners of his eyes. "This is amazing. Congratulations. I couldn't have done this without you. You did this, Maya. I just pointed you in the right direction." Still, they stood there, close enough that she could see the flecks of gold in his brown eyes. "I'm going to start looking at places this weekend," she said. "Probably move out in a few weeks." Something flickered across his face. "Okay, unless," she paused, testing the words, "unless you want us to stay longer. I could pay actual rent now. Market rate. It would be a fair arrangement." "Maya," his voice was soft, "you don't have to rationalize wanting to stay." "I'm not rationalizing. I'm being practical." "Are you?" He stepped slightly closer. "Because from where I'm standing, it seems like maybe you don't want to leave. And I really don't want you to leave, but I'm trying to give you the choice without any pressure." Her heart was beating too fast. "Why don't you want me to leave?" "Because I like having you here. All of you. Because dinner is better with company. Because I like hearing the kids laugh in the morning. Because..." He stopped, searched her face. "Because I'm falling for you," he finished quietly. "And I think you might be falling for me too, but I could be reading this completely wrong." She couldn't breathe. "You're not reading it wrong." No, no. She moved closer. I'm terrified because you're my colleague and my friend and the person who saved my life. And I don't want to mess that up. You won't. His hand came up, gentle on her cheek. We won't. How do you know? I don't. Not for certain. But I'm willing to try if you are. She thought about fear, about risk, about the difference between reckless vulnerability and brave trust, about how Ethan had seen her at her absolute lowest and hadn't looked away. I'm willing to try, she whispered. He kissed her, soft and careful, a question and an answer all at once. When they broke apart, she was smiling, really smiling. I should still get my own apartment, she said. The kids need their own space, and we should date properly, not live together before we even have a first date. He laughed. That's fair, though I'd argue we've been on dozens of dates. We just called them pair programming sessions. Still, he agreed. Find an apartment, move out. I'll take you to dinner, somewhere nice. Deal. She looked at the email again, at the proof that she had made it, survived. Built something from nothing. I never thought I'd get here, she said quietly. But you did. Ethan's hand found hers. You did. Outside the window, afternoon sun turned everything warm and golden. For the first time in almost a year, Maya let herself believe in the future. The apartment was small. One bedroom for the kids, a pull-out couch in the living room for Maya, kitchenette with ancient appliances, bathroom with tiles that had seen better decades. But the windows let in actual sunlight. The heat worked. The door locked from the inside. Moving day was a Saturday in October. Ethan showed up at 8 with his truck and 2 containers of coffee. Ready? He asked. Maya looked at the empty apartment, at Lily and Ben already running through the rooms, their laughter echoing off bare walls. Ready. They didn't have much furniture. Ethan had helped her find second-hand pieces, a dining table, chairs, beds for the kids, a dresser. People from work had donated kitchen supplies. Jennifer from the team had dropped off linens and towels. By noon, the apartment was furnished, sparse but functional. Maya stood in the middle of the living room, trying to absorb the reality of it. You okay? Ethan asked. I have a home. Her voice cracked. We have a home. He pulled her into a hug. She let herself lean into it, into the solidity of him. You did this, he said against her hair. This is yours. You earned it. Lily appeared in the doorway. Mom, can we order pizza? Real pizza? For dinner in our actual home? Maya laughed through tears. Yes, we can order pizza. That night they ate on the living room floor because the table wasn't quite assembled yet. Ben got sauce on his shirt. Lily talked non-stop about decorating her half of the bedroom. Ethan sat with them, easy and natural, like he belonged there. After the kids went to bed, Maya and Ethan stood on the small balcony. City lights spread out below them. Thank you, she said, for everything. You've thanked me about 50 times today. It's not enough. He turned to face her. Maya, you don't owe me anything. Helping you, it's been the best thing I've done in years. Still, he smiled. Now, about that proper date. You free Friday night? I have to arrange childcare. Jennifer already offered. She texted me earlier. Maya raised an eyebrow. You coordinated behind my back? I prefer to think of it as efficient planning. She laughed. Friday works. He kissed her forehead, gentle and sweet. Good. After he left, Maya sat in her quiet apartment, her home. The words still felt foreign, fragile, but real. She pulled out her phone, opened the voice memo app, started recording. Day 1 in the apartment, October 23rd. The kids are asleep in their own beds. I'm sitting on a couch that's mine. Tomorrow I'll make breakfast in my own kitchen. She paused, felt emotion rising. I made it. We made it. She saved the recording. A marker. A memory. proof that impossible things sometimes happened. Outside her window, the city hummed with distant traffic and life. Friday arrived wrapped in fog and autumn chill. Maya dropped the kids at Jennifer's house at 6. Jennifer waved from the porch, already armed with board games and snacks. "Have fun," she called. "Don't rush back." Maya drove to the restaurant Ethan had chosen. Small Italian place in North Beach. Intimate lighting, white tablecloths. He was waiting outside. Button-down shirt, dark jeans, that soft smile that made her chest warm. "Hi," he said. "Hi." They sat at a corner table, ordered wine neither of them really knew how to evaluate, laughed about it. "This is strange," Maya said. "What is?" "This. Us. Sitting across a table like normal people on a normal date. As opposed to? As opposed to me living in your spare room while processing a minor housing crisis." He grinned. "Fair point, though I maintain we've been dating this whole time. We just called it database migration planning." "Is that what the kids are calling it these days?" "Absolutely." The food arrived. They talked about work, about the project that had brought them together, about his history in tech, about her plans for the future. "I'm thinking about applying for senior positions," Maya said. "At other companies, maybe. Fresh start, better pay." Something flickered in Ethan's expression. "You'd leave our team?" "Possibly. Would that be a problem? For us?" "No," he said it firmly. "Your career comes first. Always. We'll figure out the rest." "You say that now." "I say that because I mean it." He reached across the table, found her hand. "Maya, I'm not interested in holding you back. Ever. I want to watch you soar." She squeezed his fingers. "What if I soar somewhere far away? Then I'll visit, or follow, or we'll figure out long distance, whatever works." "You make it sound simple." "It is simple. I care about you. You care about me. Everything else is just logistics." She wanted to believe him, wanted to trust that this fragile, new thing between them could withstand the complications of real life. "What are you thinking?" he asked. "That I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop, for something to go wrong." "What if nothing goes wrong?" "That would be new." He smiled, sad and understanding. "I know your life has been hard. I know you're waiting for the next crisis. But Maya, you're allowed to have good things. You're allowed to be happy." Tears pricked her eyes. "I'm working on believing that." "Good. Keep working on it." They finished dinner slowly. Dessert and coffee. Conversation that wandered from deep to light and back again. When they stepped outside, the fog had thickened. Cool moisture in the air. Ethan walked her to her car, stopped beside the driver's door. "I should let you get back to the kids," he said. "You should." Neither of them moved. "This was really nice," Maya said. "Thank you." "We should do it again, next week maybe." "I'd like that." He kissed her, longer this time, deeper. His hand cupped her face, her fingers curled into his shirt. When they broke apart, she was breathless. "Drive safe," he said. "You too." She watched him walk to his car, felt something bloom warm in her chest. Hope, maybe, or trust, or love. Quiet and careful and growing stronger. The phone call came on Tuesday morning. Maya was at her desk, working through code reviews, when her phone rang. Unknown number. "Hello? Miss Torres, this is Robert Clark, Ethan's father." Her stomach dropped. "Oh, hello. I was hoping we could meet, talk in person. It's about my son." Every instinct screamed warning. "What about him?" "I'd rather discuss it face to face. Are you free for coffee this afternoon? There's a place near your office." How did he know where her office was? But she already knew the answer. He had resources, money, ways of finding information. "I don't think that's appropriate," Maya said carefully. "Please, 30 minutes. I'm not here to cause problems. I just want to talk. Father to someone who cares about my son. She should say no, should tell Ethan immediately, should not engage with this man who had made Ethan's early life difficult enough that he had chosen homelessness over staying home. But curiosity won, and maybe a need to protect Ethan, to understand what she was dealing with. Fine, 3 o'clock, the cafe on Market Street. Thank you, I'll see you then. She spent the next 4 hours distracted, anxious. Should she tell Ethan? Wait until after the meeting? At 2:45, she walked to the cafe, found Robert Clark sitting at a corner table. He looked like an older version of Ethan, same dark eyes, same careful posture, but harder, more closed off. Ms. Torres, thank you for coming. He gestured to the seat across from him. Please. She sat, said nothing, waited. I'll be direct, Robert said. I know you're living in the apartment my son helped you secure. I know about your situation, your homelessness, your children. Heat flooded her face. Shame and anger tangled together. I'm not here to judge, he continued. I'm here to offer help. I don't need your help. Hear me out. He pulled an envelope from his jacket, set it on the table between them. $50,000. Enough for a real down payment on a house. Enough to secure your children's future. Maya stared at the envelope. And in exchange? Distance yourself from Ethan. Not dramatically, just gradually. Let the relationship fade. He's at a critical point in his career. This new director position at his company, he needs to be focused, not distracted by what? A poor single mother? Robert's expression didn't change. By someone who needs more than he can realistically give. My son has a pattern. He finds people in crisis, tries to save them. It never ends well. I'm not a crisis to be saved. Aren't you? His voice was gentle, almost kind. That made it worse. You're brilliant, hard-working, talented, but you're also struggling. And Ethan will sacrifice his own advancement to support you. He's done it before. He's an adult. He makes his own choices. He does, but those choices have consequences. This director position, it could change his life, but only if he's fully committed, not split between his career and a complicated personal situation. Maya's hands clenched under the table. A complicated personal situation. Is that what I am? You're a woman with responsibilities, 2 children, limited resources. Ethan can't be the solution to your problems. That's too much weight for any relationship to carry. The words landed like blows, because part of her feared they were true. I don't want your money, she said. Think about it. For your children, they deserve stability, a real home. This could provide that. No strings attached, just an opportunity for everyone to have what they need. The string is that I leave your son alone. I prefer to think of it as everyone having space to pursue their own paths. Maya stood. I'm done with this conversation. The offer stands. Robert pushed the envelope slightly toward her. No expiration date. If you change your mind, I won't. She walked out, hands shaking. Vision blurred. Outside, she called Ethan. Hey, he answered, warm and unsuspecting. What's up? I need to see you. Can you come to my apartment after work? Of course. Is everything okay? No, but it will be. I just need to talk to you. I'll be there at 6. She spent the rest of the afternoon trying to focus, failing. Her mind kept circling back to Robert's words. He finds people in crisis, tries to save them. It never ends well. Was that what this was? Was she just another project? Another person for Ethan to fix? No, she couldn't believe that, wouldn't believe that. But the doubt had been planted, and it grew roots quickly. Ethan arrived at 6 with takeout from her favorite Thai place. She let him in, took the food, set it on the counter without opening it. Your father came to see me today, she said. His expression went very still. He what? He offered me $50,000 to distance myself from you. Silence, heavy and sharp. I turned him down, she added. Obviously, but I thought you should know. Ethan set down his keys, carefully, like he was controlling the urge to throw them. What exactly did he say? She told him. All of it. Robert's words about patterns and distractions and career consequences. He said you have a history of trying to save people in crisis, that it never ends well. She forced herself to meet Ethan's eyes. Is that true? No, firm and immediate. Maya, you're not a project. You're not some crisis I'm trying to fix. But you did help me. You let me live in your house. You connected me with resources. You helped a friend. That's what people do. They help each other. But what if he's right? What if this relationship is built on me needing you? What happens when I don't need you anymore? Ethan crossed the room, took her hands in his. Then we'll find out what we have when need isn't part of the equation. And I think what we have is real, don't you? She wanted to say yes, wanted to believe it completely. I'm scared, she whispered. I'm scared that I'm going to wake up and realize this is too good to be true, that I'm going to lose you, or worse, that I'm going to hold you back from something better. You're not holding me back. You're making my life better. Your father doesn't think so. My father, Ethan stopped, breathed out hard. My father has controlled every aspect of my life that I've let him control. He wanted me to be a lawyer, to join his firm, to marry the daughter of his law partner, to live the life he designed. I walked away from all of that to be who I actually am. He squeezed her hands gently. I'm not going to let him dictate who I love. Love. The word hung between them. He had said it casually, like it was obvious, simple. You love me? Maya asked. Yes. No hesitation. I love you. I love your kids. I love the life we're building together. And I'm going to tell my father that, right now. He pulled out his phone. Wait, Maya said. Maybe we should think about this, talk it through, figure out the right approach. No, I'm done thinking about what my father wants. This ends now. He dialed, put the phone on speaker. Robert answered on the second ring. Ethan, good to hear from you. What the hell were you thinking? Ethan's voice was controlled but edged with steel. Approaching Maya, offering her money, trying to manipulate my relationship. Silence. I was trying to help, Robert said finally. Help? By insulting the woman I love? By suggesting she's a distraction? A burden? I suggested nothing of the sort. I simply offered her options. Options with conditions. Options designed to drive us apart. That's manipulation, Dad. And I'm done with it. Ethan. No, listen to me. I left your house 13 years ago because you couldn't accept my choices. I'm not going to let you interfere with my choices now. Maya is in my life, permanently. Get used to it or stay out of my life entirely. Your choice. Maya's heart was pounding. You're making a mistake, Robert said quietly. Maybe, but it's my mistake to make. Goodbye, Dad. He hung up, stood there breathing hard. Maya touched his arm. Are you okay? No, but I will be. He turned to face her fully. I meant what I said. I love you, and I'm not letting anyone, my father, your doubts, whatever, get between us. I love you too, she said. The words felt enormous, terrifying, true. He kissed her, deep and certain. When they broke apart, she was crying. I'm sorry, she said, for doubting, for letting him get in my head. Don't apologize. He's good at getting in people's heads. It's his superpower. Ethan wiped her tears with his thumb. But we're stronger than his manipulations, okay? Okay. They sat on the couch, ate cold Thai food straight from the containers, talked until the kids came home from their after-school program. Later, after Ethan had left and the kids were asleep, Maya lay in her pull-out bed, thought about love, about trust, about choosing to believe in good things. She pulled out her phone, started a new voice memo. Day 37 in the apartment. Someone tried to buy me out of my relationship today. I said no. Because what I have with Ethan is worth more than any amount of money. She paused, smiled in the dark. I think I'm going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Outside, the city lights glowed against the night sky. 3 days later, Ethan received an email from his father. Subject: apology. Ethan, you're right. I overstepped. What I did was manipulative and wrong. I was acting out of fear that you would repeat the same patterns that caused you pain before. But that was my fear, not your reality. I would like to meet with you, and with Maya, if she's willing, to apologize properly, to try to understand what I've been too stubborn to see. I'm your father. I love you, even when I show it poorly. Robert. Ethan showed Maya the email that night. What do you think? He asked. She read it twice. I think he sounds sincere, but I'm not the one who needs to decide if you forgive him. I want your input. My input is that you get to set the boundaries. If you want to meet him, we meet him. If you want to cut contact completely, I support that too. He thought about it. I want to meet him, with you there, as a unit. Okay, she took his hand. Then we'll meet him. They arranged to meet at a neutral restaurant, Sunday brunch, public and time limited. Robert was already seated when they arrived. He stood when he saw them, looked uncertain for the first time Maya had ever seen. Thank you for coming, he said. They sat, ordered coffee. The silence was awkward. Finally, Robert spoke. I owe you both an apology. Maya, what I did was unconscionable. I treated you like an obstacle instead of a person. I'm sorry. Thank you, Maya said carefully. He turned to Ethan. And you, I've spent years trying to control your life because I was afraid of losing you. But I've realized that control is exactly what's pushing you away. I need to let go. Let you live your own life, even when it scares me. Ethan's expression softened slightly. Why does my life scare you? Because I made so many mistakes with mine. I chose money and status over relationships, over your mother, over you, and I'm terrified you'll suffer for my failures. I'm not you, Dad. I know. You're better. You always have been. Robert looked at Maya. And you? I researched you after our conversation, not to manipulate, to understand. What you've accomplished, teaching yourself to code, securing a tech job, raising 2 children while homeless, it's extraordinary. Maya didn't know what to say. My son loves you, and I can see why. You're strong, brilliant, resilient, everything I should have recognized immediately instead of trying to drive you away. Thank you, she managed. I know I can't fix this overnight. Trust isn't rebuilt quickly. But I'd like to try, if you'll let me. Ethan looked at Maya, a question in his eyes. She nodded slightly. Okay, Ethan said. We can try, but on our terms. No more interference. No more manipulation. You respect our relationship or you're not part of our lives. Clear? Crystal clear. They talked for another hour, tentative at first, then easier. Robert asked about Maya's work, about her children. Actually listen to the answers. When they left, Maya felt cautiously hopeful. That went better than expected, she said. He's trying, that's something. Think he'll actually change? I don't know, but I'm willing to give him a chance to prove it. They walked to the car, Ethan's arm around her shoulders, solid and warm. Thank you, he said, for doing this with me. Always, and she meant it. 6 months passed. Maya got promoted to senior developer at work. Pay increase, more responsibility, respect from her team. She moved out of the pull-out couch and into a proper 1-bedroom apartment. A little bigger, a little nicer. The kids got their own rooms. Ethan helped her move. again. They had become experts at packing and unpacking by now. Robert visited once a month, took the kids for Sunday brunch, slowly building something resembling a relationship. Not perfect, but present. Maya's ex finally started paying child support. Not enough and not consistent, but something. She filed for enforcement through the legal aid Ethan had connected her with. Small victories. She started saving. Real savings. Enough to think beyond next month's rent. One Saturday in April, she and Ethan sat on her balcony, coffee and morning sun. "I've been thinking," she said, "about buying a house." He looked at her. "Really?" "Maybe, eventually. I have some savings now, and with the Housing Assistance Program, they have a home ownership track. I could qualify for a first-time buyer loan." "That's amazing." "It's terrifying," he laughed. "Those things aren't mutually exclusive." "I know, but it feels big, permanent, like putting down roots." "Is that a bad thing?" She thought about the minivan, the parking lots, the constant fear of being discovered, how far she had come. "No, it's a good thing. I think I'm just not used to good things yet." "You'll get used to it." He kissed her temple. "I'll make sure of it." They sat in comfortable silence, watching the city wake up below them. "Would you want to help me look?" Maya asked. "At houses? Are you asking me to move in with you?" "Eventually, maybe, if we're both ready. I'm thinking long-term here." "I'm thinking long-term too." His hand found hers. "And yes, I'd love to help you look." "Okay," she smiled. "Let's buy a house." The words felt wild, impossible, true. She pulled out her phone, started a new voice memo, a habit now, marking the moments that mattered. Day 198 since the apartment. "I'm going to buy a house, an actual house, for me and my kids, and maybe for the man I love." She looked at Ethan, at the sunrise behind him. "I never thought I'd get here, but I did. We did." She saved the recording, another marker, another memory, proof that impossible things kept happening. House hunting took 3 months. They looked at dozens of places, too expensive, too small, too far from the kids' schools, wrong neighborhood, foundation issues, plumbing nightmares. Then they found it, small house in a quiet neighborhood, 3 bedrooms, fenced backyard, good bones despite needing some work. The price was at the absolute top of what Maya could afford with her loan. But it was possible. Barely. She stood in the empty living room, Lily and Ben running through the rooms behind her, Ethan beside her, quiet and steady. "What do you think?" he asked. "I think I'm terrified." But I love it." "Then make an offer." She did. The seller countered. They negotiated. Maya's realtor was fierce. The final price came in just under budget, 30 days to closing. Maya walked through the house one more time before signing papers. Imagined where the furniture would go. Which room would be Lily's? Which would be Ben's? Where she would set up her home office. In the master bedroom, Ethan stood by the window. "This could be ours," he said quietly, "if you want." Her heart skipped. "Are you asking to move in?" "I'm asking if you'd want me to. No pressure. We can keep our separate places if that's better. But I've been thinking, we're at your apartment or my house almost every night anyway. The kids ask when we're all going to live together. It feels like the natural next step." Maya walked to the window, stood beside him, looked out at the backyard, at the space where the kids could play, where they could build something permanent. "Yes," she said, "I want you to move in. I want us to build a life here together." He kissed her, soft and full of promise. "Then let's do it." Closing day was a Friday in July. Maya signed her name 37 times. Each signature felt surreal. When the realtor handed her the keys, she stared at them. "Congratulations," the realtor said. "You're a homeowner." A homeowner. She had been homeless 18 months ago. Outside the title company, Ethan swept her into a hug. Lily and Ben jumped around them, cheering. They drove to the house, their house, unlocked the door together, walked inside. The kids immediately ran to claim their rooms, their voices echoing through empty spaces. Maya and Ethan stood in the living room, sunlight streaming through the windows. "We should paint," Maya said. "Something warm, inviting." "We should. And get furniture, real furniture, not secondhand, some pieces brand new." "Whatever you want." She turned to face him fully. "Thank you. For all of this. For believing in me when I couldn't believe in myself. You did the work, Maya. This is yours." "Ours," she corrected. "It's ours now." He smiled, that soft, genuine smile that had become her favorite thing. They spent the afternoon there, planning, imagining. The kids drew pictures on the walls of their rooms with washable markers. Maya let them. Because it was their house, their home. They could make it whatever they wanted. As the sun set, they sat on the back porch, the four of them, family. Lily leaned against Maya's shoulder. "Mom, are we really going to live here?" "We really are, baby." "Forever?" "For as long as we want." Ben climbed into Ethan's lap. "Are you going to live here too?" "If that's okay with you," Ethan said. "It's okay with me." Ben yawned. "You make good pancakes." They all laughed. Later, after the kids were drowsy and full of pizza they'd ordered to celebrate, Ethan and Maya stood alone in what would become their bedroom. "How does it feel?" he asked. "Like a dream. Like I'm going to wake up back in the parking lot and none of this will be real." "It's real." He pulled her close. "You're real. We're real. This is happening." She let herself believe it. "I love you," she said, "in case I haven't told you enough. You can tell me as many times as you want. I'll never get tired of hearing it." "I love you." He kissed her, deep and certain, promise and presence all tangled together. Outside their window, the neighborhood was quiet, safe, home. 6 months after moving into the house, Maya threw her first dinner party. The team from work, Jennifer, Marcus, a few other colleagues, and Robert, who had become a regular fixture in their lives. Not perfect, but present, trying. The kitchen smelled like roasting chicken and fresh bread. Wine glasses clinked. Laughter filled the rooms. Lily and Ben gave tours of their bedrooms, showed off their artwork, introduced their new friends from school. Maya stood at the kitchen counter watching it all. Ethan came up behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist. "Happy?" he asked. "Overwhelmed, in a good way. You did this, built this life from nothing." "We did this," she corrected. "I couldn't have done it alone." "You could have, but I'm glad you didn't have to." Jennifer raised her glass across the room. "Speech! Maya should give a speech." Everyone turned to look at her, expectant and smiling. "Oh no," Maya said. "I'm terrible at speeches." "Come on," Marcus called. "Just a few words." Ethan squeezed her hand. "You've got this." She took a breath, stepped into the living room. Everyone quieted. "Okay, I'm not good at this, so bear with me." She looked around at the faces, people who had become friends, family. 2 years ago, I was living in my car with my kids. I didn't know if I'd ever have a home again. I was terrified and desperate and barely holding it together. The room was completely silent. And then I got a job, met amazing people, found resources I didn't know existed, was given chances I didn't think I deserved. This house, this life, it's built on the kindness of people who helped me when I needed it most. Her voice caught. Ethan's hand found hers. "So thank you to everyone here for being part of this journey, for making this possible, for being the kind of people who reach out instead of looking away." She raised her glass. "To home, wherever we build it, with whoever we choose to let in." "To home," everyone echoed. They drank. Conversations resumed. Music played softly in the background. Maya slipped out to the back porch, needed a moment alone. to absorb it all. Robert joined her a few minutes later. "That was a beautiful speech," he said. "Thank you." They stood in comfortable silence, the relationship between them still tentative, still healing, but better than it had been. "I was wrong about you," Robert said finally, "and I'm grateful Ethan didn't listen to me. He loves you, even when you make it difficult. I know. I'm trying to deserve that love. That's all any of us can do." He nodded. "For what it's worth, you make him happy. Happier than I've ever seen him. That's worth everything to me now." "Thank you for saying that." They went back inside together, back to the warmth and noise and life. Later that night, after everyone had left and the kids were asleep, Maya and Ethan cleaned up the kitchen. "I have something for you," he said. He handed her a small box, wrapped in simple brown paper. "What is this?" "Open it." She unwrapped it carefully. Inside was a key, old and worn, a ribbon tied around it. "What's this?" "The key to the house I lived in when I was homeless. Well, not the actual key. I didn't keep that. But I had one made, as a reminder." She looked at him, confused. "A reminder that where we start doesn't determine where we end up. That impossible things happen. That people survive. And sometimes, if we're really lucky, we find someone to build a home with." Tears blurred her vision. Maya Torres. He got down on one knee, pulled out another small box from his pocket. "Will you marry me?" Her breath stopped. Inside the box was a simple ring, perfect and understated and exactly right. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, absolutely yes." He slid the ring onto her finger, stood, kissed her like they had all the time in the world. And maybe they did. She pulled out her phone, started a new voice memo. The last one she would need to record. Final entry, day 546 since leaving the parking lot. "I'm engaged. I own a home. My kids are safe and happy. I have a career I love, a partner who sees me, friends who showed up." She paused, looked at Ethan, at the life they had built together. "The parking lot feels like a lifetime ago, like it happened to someone else, but it happened to me, and I survived it. We survived it." She saved the recording, turned off her phone, stepped into Ethan's arms. Outside the kitchen window, the backyard was dark and quiet. Their yard, their home. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new joys, new moments to navigate together. But tonight, they had this. Each other. The life they had fought for. Home wasn't a place. It was this. Right here, right now. With him. With her children sleeping safe in their rooms. With a future that finally felt possible. She pressed her forehead to his, breathed him in. "Let's go to bed," she whispered. "Our bed. In our house. In our home." They turned off the lights, walked hand in hand down the hallway. Behind them, the house settled into nighttime quiet. Walls that held them, space that was theirs. Outside, the city hummed with distant life and possibility. And inside, everything was exactly as it should be.